Today is July the the 5th. Yes, the 5th day of July. Oh my God, I can't believe we're at July 5th already. But yes, today is July 5th. And yeah, today will be an interesting show. We get a chance to review the J3's national junior and senior trials, which should come up later in the show. We also get to talk a little bit about some cricket, a little bit about some football as well. So I'm so excited to be able to share with you today. Kareem, hello, how are you? Hope you're well. No, I'm not beating anybody today. I'm more like in a very solemn mood. And if you have been around the football, you'll know why my mood is not, very excited or anything. I'm just in between. I'm trying to find my way through those emotions. But yeah, so stick and stay with us until 2 o'clock today, right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. Of course, you can catch us on Facebook and on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica, as well as you can download the Love 101 FM app. If you haven't downloaded the app, now it's your opportunity to download the app so you can hear Sports Talk and all your other favorite shows happening right here on the family station. So you go to your app store. If you are an Apple user, you go to your app store, and that is, you will download the Love 101 FM Jamaica app. You're able to stream it. And then if you have an Android, you go to the Play Store, Love 101 FM Jamaica. The app comes up, you download it, you're able to listen to all your shows, whether you're on the go or if you want to go back to listening to a show, you can always do that as well. So, you have the opportunity to do that. Right. So, yeah. So, first of all, of course, as I said, if you are within the football world or have been hearing, you would have known that Diego Jota, Liverpool player, and his brother perished in a car crash earlier this week. And it's been a very solemn moment for me because even though Jota doesn't play for my club, he does play in the English Premier League, and I would have seen him play throughout the season for Liverpool and seasons for Liverpool. And I don't know, something about this reminds us within this arena that we are, that, it's life is so fragile. It reminds us that life is something that we ought not to take for granted. That in the blink of an eye, in a split moment, that things can change suddenly. I mean, before his death, he would have gotten married 5 days before that. I'm sure the wedding was, from the picture, seemed to be a wonderful wedding, and you just don't know. It's like a come to Jesus moment almost, because you just don't know what lies ahead. You don't know what the future looks like, and it's just, I don't know. It's very, very sad. A family, we're talking about from the father side, Diego and his brother, a mother losing two sons at the same time. But we're not only talking about that, we're also talking about a wife who, they just got married 5 days ago, 5 days before his death, right? And 3 children losing their father just like that, and an uncle just like that. I can't imagine what that family, or what their families, the family and the families, are going through. And our hearts go out to them. But this is just, as I said, it serves as a reminder to me that life can change, and within this sporting world, whether by death, unfortunate death, or whether by injury, or whether by an accident, or whether by anything like that, that your life can change so quickly. Um, and it's whether you are like on the receiving end, or, it's just, and it's not, I can't imagine, no, for the Liverpool players at least, and the fans as well, um, if the players are now preparing for preseason, right? Their summer break is done. Liverpool is not participating in the FIFA Club World Cup, right? So here we are. They're on their vacation and coming back. It said that he was on his way back to training, because I believe Liverpool would have restarted their training within this week or early next week, and I can't imagine what the players, the team managers, the those who, the entire staff there must be going through, because I mean, most of them would have probably traveled to Spain, for Portugal rather, for the wedding. And okay, we'll see you in a few days. Jump on the plane, and they're like, okay, yeah, train this hard a few days. I'll see you guys in a few days. I can't imagine the conversations they're probably having the night before, to say, hey, excited for this season, excited to defend or trophy, to be Premier League champions again, and all of that in the space of time is just gone. Yeah, sad, sad. It's been a while. I think any athlete dying has impacted me like this, because I mean, of course, we follow them and they're superstars and all of that. I get all of that, but it's when it comes unexpected like this, it reminded me of late last year when Michael Antonio met in the accident, and you're just so unsure of what had happened and if you're gonna make it. Thank God he's on this side, but unfortunately for Diego Jota and his brother, they're not on this side anymore. And all they have, their families have, the club has, his teammates have, is memories. And I just want to remind us that in all that we do in this life, whether you are interested in sports or just another area in life, that life can change in a moment. Life can change in a split second. And it might be a tire blowing out and you losing control of a vehicle. It just might be something, you at this moment, we don't know. We don't know the time, the hour, the minute, the second. We don't know when our numbers are going to be called. And so we have to be ready. This is a little different from, the usual, sometimes, what we do. But I thought I'd take the first segment on the show this week to just remind us about how fragile life is, and we ought not to take life for granted. And it doesn't matter the areas that we serve in, whether in sports or whatever area that we serve in, it really doesn't matter. Life ought not to be taken for granted, and we ought to ensure that how we go about life is truly, truly to honor God and to live for Him, because that's really the only hope that we have, and that's the only thing that will, keep us grounded. As when families mourn, mourn with hope and all that. Yeah, that's the only thing, because literally could be here right now and gone tomorrow. Literally, like it just changes the whole landscape of, I'm sure, the teammates. And we're not just talking about his current Liverpool teammates. We're talking about everybody, especially those within the Premier League who would have played with him over the last few seasons. And not only that, 28 and 26, those are young men, haven't even lived life as yet. I mean, for you to say, okay, you've lived a life, or and not to say that people who live life deserve to die, but I'm just saying, really haven't lived much of his life as yet. Maybe coming into his prime as a footballer. Him and his brother, and unfortunately, just not with us anymore. And our hearts, as I said, our hearts go out to those who are facing in that situation, because it might not just be, this person, but you and your family might be going through similar situation, and our hearts really, 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 really go out to everyone who's who faces death like this, sudden death. Because I know that's what rips. When somebody's sick and then they die, I'm not saying that families don't hurt, but I think it hurt more. The hurt is more when it's just sudden and unexpected, and it's just like, okay, this is not in the plan at all. But yeah, figured I'd start the show like this today. More on a solemn note, because that's genuinely my feelings towards the city. And I'm hoping that there is support for the families and everybody as they move forward. And I'm sure the club and everybody will continue to support. And this was show in terms of how Liverpool goes ahead of their season, and how they look on to honor him and all of that. But all of that is just, it doesn't necessarily take away the pain or the no pain that exists for the players and the team managers, and yeah, it doesn't. So with that, we're gonna go for our first break right here on the show, and then when we come back, we'll get to talk some more sports. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Get ready for the 4th edition of the Life Fest Pop-Up Market. Join us on Sunday, July 6, 2025 at Hope Gardens in Kingston from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a fun-filled, family-friendly experience. Come out and enjoy the Art Village, Farmers Market, and Food Pavilion. Shop for clothes, plants, skin and hair care products, wellness supplies, and more. This vibrant marketplace is all about supporting small businesses. Come connect, shop, and be inspired. It's a full day of fun, food, and family. Don't miss the Life Fest Pop-Up Market, Sunday, July 6, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Hope Gardens.
It's more than a race. It's a launch pad. The New Testament Church of God 5K Run Walk to raise funds for 100 scholarships for students from primary to tertiary levels. Step out in faith. Make every stride count. It's the New Testament Church of God 5K Run Walk, Saturday, July 19 at 6:30 a.m. Starting point at the Emancipation Park. Register now at runningeventsjamaica.com. Call 876-967-4903 for more information. As the New Testament Church of God celebrates 100 years in Jamaica.
All right. We're going to do a roll call.
The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside Youth Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Rebirth. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. At 3 p.m., your DJ runs the gospel rhythm. Hot, hot. Tune in at 4 p.m. for a time where we share a word to grow your mind. GYM? Grow your mind? Jim. Get it? Grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving all their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We get a taste of poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Faves at 5. All this and more every Saturday at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. with your love jock, your boy, DJ Rebirth. It's all here on the family station, Love 101.
Youth Connection. Shubopti and them figured he provide everything on guide we pan we chat. Shubopti and them figured him alone make we appear when we did chat. Hey, hey. Shubopti.
Are you interested in what happens in the world of sports? Do you want to hear from athletes and coaches as they talk about their perspectives? Join me, Kathya, right here on the family station Love 101 FM for Sports Talk every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. That's Sports Talk 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station Love 101. All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. All right, so we're going to just jump into, we're going to talk a little bit about some netball because if you know, the 2025 Elite Netball League is currently on, actually started last week, but we're going to talk about round two. Round two, we'll see, and these games actually. Right. Let's go again. This is now round four because we've had we started last week Friday, so it would have been Friday. Right. It would have been Friday. The Netball League would have started Friday, June 27. So we'll have now going into round four tomorrow. And the St. Catherine Racers will play the JPS Shiners, and the Manchester Spurs will play the Kingston Hummingbirds. So if you want to check out some netball going on, then you feel free to do so at the National Stadium. I'm sure the matches are happening at the Leela Robinson Courts. So if you want, you can check out some netball. Yeah. All right. Quickly on to some cricket. As I said, we'll talk about some athletics later on in the show. Onto some cricket. The West Indies, they're playing Australia in the second test. They're in the Spice Island of Grenada. And of course, it is showing again to be a bowlers series. You guys know, I'm not, as I said, I'm not battering anybody today. We're just gonna talk sports. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna look at the scores. Australia, I know they're currently batting in their second innings now. So I'll give you the update on where the scores are in that game. All right, so let's do that. And of course, there's a story going around regarding a West Indian. As soon as things have been confirmed, then we can talk about that. But we don't really want to talk about that until we get all the facts on that story. So Australia, they're currently in their second series, 84 for 3. The Australia is 84 for 3. But let's look at the scorecard from the first innings, because this is Australia's second innings. Australia, West Indies would have bowled out Australia in their first innings, right, for 286. With the wickets going, Jaden Seals, he took 2 for 45. Shamar Joseph took 1 for 63. Alzari took 4 for 61. Anderson Phillip took 1 for 46. And Greaves took 1 for 35. And the top scorer for Australia in that first innings would have been Prairie, and he made 63 from 81. All right, on to the West Indies in their first innings. Australia, again, they made 286 all out in their first innings. And of course, like we all know the West Indies do, They made 253. Let's just say, we were happy that they were past the follow-on score, but there were some questionable shots that or batters. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to come up with a new theory for how our batsmen go about Test cricket. Because nobody wants to stay at the crease and bat anymore. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what is so exciting about the dressing room. Why it is that nobody wants to stay. No, it must be no. I mean, I know it's not that, but it must be that the dressing room or whatever is happening must be so important that you can't even stay at the crease for 2 hours. Not even 2 hours good. And like these are as in what I would say the best of what the region has to offer. And cricket is supposed to be a gentleman's sport as far as I'm concerned. And boy, the West Indies gentlemen are not gentlemen right now. Honestly, like it's like, let me tell you. All right. I'm not even gonna start calling names, but the shots that we play, the shots that these batsmen would have played, questionable. Like the scorecard is not even. But let's go first innings. This okay. So John Campbell, he made 40 from 52, and I'm happy that John Campbell made 40. Well, not so happy because he should have made the halves. He should have actually made a century. But the shot that John Campbell made that made him out, questionable. It's not that he just came to the crease. He was set at the crease, and you would have faced how many of these balls before, right? How many of these balls before? And you still went and decided that you were going to play that ball. And I think, honestly, I was just so disappointed because I expect somebody who just come in at the crease to play a shot like that. All right, so we move on. Brandon King Brandon King, he made the highest score in that first innings for the West Indies, making 75 off 108 balls. And again, I mean, for Brandon, it was the tip of the glove, but I'm still saying that I don't understand. It's like we're not seeing like the Australians, they go in the room and they do all of this and they do all of this work. And it's the same resources I think we have. And we're able to say, okay, we're going to bowl this way and da. So just like how we are able to bowl them down, I'm sure they still have the same technology as to what ball gets who out and all of that. But we have to know how to play to that as well. We have to know that this is how this bowler bowls or that bowler bowls, or this is how it's going to be. So I have to always be on my A game. One thing about cricket, especially Test cricket, I mean cricket in general, but especially Test cricket, you see the second you lose focus, the second your mind goes to somewhere else, that's it. You're pretty much out, because then you're not focusing again. So but it's not just like this series. I mean, this series our batting has been deplorable. And I don't know at this point, I'm not sure batting coach and time in the nets. At this point, I'm not even sure what it is, because I think, well, I know what it is. I have concluded that we just don't have the focus to be playing cricket other than T20. We want to come and make big shots. Test cricket is 5 days. 5 days. And some of these shots that some of these West Indian batsmen have taken is like they need to get to somewhere right now. And it ought not to be right? So, of course, Australia bowled us down for 253. Thank God to Brandon King and John Campbell, who rescued basically the innings, right? And then at the end, Shemar Joseph and Alzari, made 27 and 29 to not let us get a follow-on score after bowling out Australia for 286. Australia now they're at 94-3. And so I'm sure, what they're going to do is maybe declare when they get to like a 300 lead or so, give us 2 days to make it. And then, like the first innings, we're going to be bowled out again because we have to change the way in terms of how we go about our batting. Australia, they're now leading by 124 runs. I'm sure they're gonna probably declare when they get to 300, I believe, and give West Indies probably a day and a half, almost 2 days to make the score. I don't know. I guess on a good note, on a better note, cricket is coming to Jamaica next week. Yes, the third test in this series will be in Jamaica. But if you're not interested in the 5 days, then there is also two T20 games that will be played in Jamaica. Yes, of course, the series it's with home full of energy. So yeah, so they'll be in Jamaica from July 12th to July 22nd. And that, again, I said, will take on one test, so the third test in the series. So we're hoping that the West Indies can pull out a victory in this second test or even a draw, so that when we get to the third test in Jamaica, it will be attractive for us cricket lovers to come out, because the truth is that I know some of us will not be making our way to Sabina Park if the West Indies have already lost the series. Not me, I'm talking about, generally, because as Jamaicans, we all often like to support teams when the teams are winning. When I really like to support team when the team are losing. So if the team comes with a winning streak, we'll jump on the bandwagon, which questionable. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. So we'll get a chance, as I said, to see the West Indies when they come to Jamaica. Yeah, go out and support as best as you can. Of course, the third test comes up first, and then you have the 2 T20s. Of course, we'll keep you posted on the games, and we'll talk about the games when they do come up. And what does it mean to have cricket in Jamaica for West Indies playing Jamaica? Well, Australia playing in Jamaica for a little while, because we haven't played Australia in Jamaica in a little while. I think last year was South Africa, but we haven't played. Australia hasn't come to Jamaica. They've come to the West Indies. They haven't come to Jamaica. And I know some of us are big Australian fans, even though we're West Indians, but yes. All right. We're going to go for a second break right here on Sports Talk. When we come back, it's going to be track and field, as we will get to talk about the look back on the national trials that happened last weekend. We'll also look forward to an interesting Diamond League coming up today, the Prefontaine Classic, happening in Eugene, Oregon. We'll be right back right here on Sports Talk.
Faith Claim Ministries, Somerset Road, Greenvale, Mandeville invites you to Convocation 2025 with keynote ministers Bishop Steve Hepburn, Bishop Arthur V. Grant, and Reverend Dr. Kevin Page from the New Testament Church of God. The theme, What Shall I Do Then with Jesus, who is called Christ? Sunday, July 6th, divine worship at 10 a.m. and evening session at 6:30 p.m. Monday, July 7th and Tuesday, July 8th at 7 p.m. p.m. Don't miss the fasting service on Tuesday, July 8th at 9 a.m. Join on Zoom 856-010-77842 or on YouTube at Faith Claim Ministries live broadcast on Love 101. Come with your praise, participate, and leave empowered. The Faith Claim Ministries Somerset Road, Greenvale, Mandeville Convocation, Sunday, July 6th through to Tuesday, July 8th. Don't you miss it. It's more than a race. It's a launch pad. The New Testament Church of God 5K Run Walk to raise funds for 100 scholarships for students from primary to tertiary levels. Step out in faith. Make every stride count. It's the New Testament Church of God 5K Run Walk, Saturday, July 19 at 6:30 a.m. Starting point at the Emancipation Park. Register now at runningeventsjamaica.com. Call 876-967-4903 for more information. As the New Testament Church of God celebrates 100 years in Jamaica. Clarendon, get ready for the Rhyme and Reach Benefit Concert 2025, a night of powerful praise and a mission that matters. All proceeds go towards renovating the Anderson Basic School. Live performances by John Mark Wigan, Harry Sales, O'Neill Campbell, Dwight Ferry. Tickets adults 2,000, children 12 and under 700. Check out rhyme.reach at Instagram for more details. Grace Baptist Church, 24 to 26 Sewell Crescent, Maypen, Friday, July 18, 6:30 p.m.
I've got love in my heart.
It's another time to move inside alive. This Make Me Move Monday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One. Get the cerebral workout with a brain testing exercise at 1:45. Get those mental muscles moving. Hungry for divine intervention? At 2 o'clock, break your fast with Prayer Blast. Join us for Body Talk at 2:15 for another informative program about your health. Then at 3 p.m., we bring you Soul Talk, your safe space to share your truth with Pastor Philip Johnson. At 4:30, stick and stay for more fun coming your way as Auntie Dashley wraps things up with the Small People Show. All this and more will come alive 1 to 5. This Make Me Move Monday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One. Only on the family station, Love 101.
How you feeling? Everybody feeling alive. Got the spirit feeling alive. Get your healing and come alive.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. And now we get an opportunity to talk about the J3's National Junior and Senior trials that happened last weekend. And of course, we'll definitely find some time to talk about the Prefontaine Classic Diamond League coming up later today. But with me, or joining me now, is Kemal Ford. Kemal, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm not too bad. Have you gotten some rest? I know you are busy.
Yeah.
Busy last week.
Busy all 4 days. I've recovered, some fantastic performances. Got to speak to a lot of our athletes. A great championship overall, both for juniors and seniors. Glad to see a changing of the guard of the baton has been changed successfully. It wasn't fumble or anything. So, we're getting there.
We're getting there. Great. So let's start. I know everybody want to hear about the seniors, but I don't think we focus or we give at the national trials. I really don't think our juniors get the attention that they ought to get sometimes. I know sometimes it's overshadowed because the two trials are together. But tell me, for you, maybe what was your stand-up performances on the junior side? Performances rather.
All right. So honestly, I think the standard performance for the juniors came in the boys under 21 10 hurdles. Daniel Clark of KC, 12.96 as a teenager. You're doing some Shasha Zoya type stuff there, going sub 13 in the 110. And it's just showing that Jamaica is getting better across, not only in the 100 and everything, but the hurdles is there too. And basically doing that, within, I'd say probably the next 5 years or so, when Jamaica continues to develop more hurdlers and everything, Jamaica should be as good as, if not better than, the United States in the sprint hurdles for the men at least. So Daniel
Yeah,
Clark, 96,
yeah,
excellent.
definitely. I didn't. I mean, we would have seen him gone 13:01, I believe,
Yeah,
back
at
at the
Carista.
character trials, right? And I was like, okay. And then we know how championships are in terms of, when you get to championships and the weight that comes on. So, of course, he didn't win at champs, or did he win at character? But to see him almost at the end of his season, running 12:96 on his way to, what's that university? He's on his way to
University of Texas.
University of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see. It was good to see. Any other stand-up performances on the junior side for you,
I'd
Kevin?
say Daniel Clark same here, because looking at it on a whole, like, has the potential to go a lot faster, given the fact that we normally see these youngsters do well at champs, peak at champs, and their performance, start to get diminished per se. Like, champs and everything, they peak to perform at champs. But like going forward now, we have Nakak coming up under 20 championships, and this season, looking forward to see what he can do. And again, as they get older, the barriers change. So he's going into a school at like Texas that has produced a lot of good hurdlers, and Jamaica has been doing well in the NCAA. So looking forward to him, as one of those fantastic freshmen next year.
Definitely, definitely. All right. Let's talk about let's go to the changing of the guard
Yeah.
first before we talk about anything else. You said you think we've successfully changed the guard without fumbling the baton. Talk to
Definitely.
me about that.
All
Give,
right, let
give
me
me a
just say
thought.
that women's 100 meters at national championship was one of the most intense races that I've watched live, and to see to see Shelley Fraser Price and the legendary Shelley Fraser Price, to say that, yeah man, this is her last on the national championship for her, wearing out in style, making the team, in a Shrika Jackson and Tina Clayton there as well. Unfortunately, Tina um never Tia.
Right. Tia. Yeah, man. It's okay.
Tia.
We
Tia
all
never
get them mixed up
Tia
at
never
some
never, never finished an hour, but I'm glad to see that Tina Clinton was able to deliver well. 10.881, showing the
point.
fact that, yeah, Jamaica is in position, to the great things, and she's just 21, like 10.8 at 21. She has a whole lot more to go, and she's in a position now where she's going to be under circuit and everything, getting into the realm with competing with these top girls across the world. So I'm looking forward to see what she does and everything. Sherika Jackson showing good form, as season's best there, 10.88 seconds per second. And the legendary Shellen Fraser Price saying, so last Jamaica national championship, won't be seeing her in the stadium competing at least. So 10.91 seconds. Looking forward to see what they will bring. Jamaica sending a strong team to Tokyo. We'll have a couple of months prepared, but like I'd say, I'm very much impressed with Tia Clayton, what she has done at the national championship. Excited to see where she will go as the season progresses.
Yeah, I think one of the big conversations, though, Kemal, has been, I think when the trials were confirmed for June, a lot of us were saying, J3s can change. They can change the day. We
Yeah.
don't need, why they keeping the trials so early? And da, 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 da. I see some of us have come back to eat our words because um, yeah, what did you think? It
I mean,
has put us in an advantage for the trials to be the time that they were kept.
I'm always a believer of like tradition and everything. The trials is normally in this period of time, and knowing the fact that it will give athletes a lot more time to prepare for world championships. So let's say, for instance, athletes who made the top three at the national championship and didn't get the qualification standard, they will have enough time to go to these various domestic meets in Europe and go to the Diamond Leagues and everything. If the trials was to be kept like 6 weeks before the world championship and they didn't have the standard same way, it would be a situation in which where, hey, they would have to either qualify based on our rankings or just are unable to qualify because they don't have the standards. So again, it gives our athletes a lot of time to prepare and to get those qualification standard. And overall, like, it didn't affect the times where say the same times. I would say Jamaica was, especially for the 100 meters, was competing, with the rest of the world as well. So just expecting greater things from our athletes as we head towards Tokyo, like. It's a long way to go for us because our nationals were held early, but just overall good championship. Looking forward to see like what we will do in these meets leading up to the big show in September.
And as we talk about qualifying championship or qualifying mark to meet the championship, one event stands out to me. And I won't even say controversy because he's just, I
Himself.
don't think he is the most liked athlete. And he just gives off the not to like athlete aura. Okay, it's not like we don't have anything against him, and I'm sure he knows that. But he
Yeah.
just know that he's just not our favorite based on how he goes about things. Not just but there's some people we just know that. But and if you guys are wondering who I'm speaking about, I'm speaking about Rashid McDonald because I want to talk about the finals and I want to talk about his missed opportunity to get that 400-meter standard because of showboating.
He was very close to it, very, very close. And the showboating and everything, like, hey, it's all necessary after the race. And they can showboat after the race. The media and the cameras are there after the race. You have the standard. Showboat, you can be able to go over by the clock and take a picture and say, yeah, man, I have the standard. But, unfortunately, put himself in a position where, like, he has to be chasing the standard. It will be a complicated situation. God forbid if he doesn't get the standard, other athletes are why they have the standard, and such as a Bovel McPherson and a Sean Bailey who were also in that race. So it's as he runs a gamble there in the sense that hey, what will happen now if he doesn't get the standard as soon as possible heading over to Europe and competing in all of those domestic races. But again, he did what he did and everything he won, but like he needed the standard. Like he should have won with the standard. Winning with the standard would have put the icing on the cake.
And that's where I am, Kemal, because I'm saying I understand you have come under criticisms and people have said all that they need to say. And I thought the best way to shut up everybody last weekend was to get the standard because it's not like you weren't just to see the fact that you missed the standard by so close. It's not like it was any far distance. All you needed to do was run through the line. For me, if you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do after you crossed the line, but to put yourself in a disadvantaged position now of those who you were showboating and beating at the championship could be those who are lining up in the individual event and not you.
Definitely. And like if you watch back the race, if that race was probably like a 410 meters, Delano Kennedy would have won because he came like a freight train in the last couple of meters when he began to showboat as well. And this will be interesting heading towards the World Championship. A lot of us should pay attention to see who will get the standard and to see what will happen with J3s and the men's 400 meters because we may never know.
Yeah, and of course, if we leave anything to the J3s, Kamal, we never know. For
Yeah.
real, for real, for real, for real. Anyways, Kamal, I want you to stay with us because we're not done talking about the national and junior senior trials that happened last weekend, and we haven't even gotten a chance yet to talk about the pre-Fontaine because I want to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go. We're gonna go for a break, and we're gonna come right back. So stay with us as we go for a final break right here on Sports Talk.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
The New Testament Church of God in Jamaica is celebrating 100 years, and you're invited to attend the special health fair coming up on Friday, July 11. Free admission, free medical, dental, and optical care. Meet the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, Registrar General's Department, Legal Information, National Land Agency, National Housing Trust, Heart Trust, NSTA. Plenty things to keep at the health fair, Friday, July 11th from 10 a.m. at the New Testament Church of God Convention Center, Rodens Pen, Old Harbor. Don't you miss it.
The
world is changing and so should you. Diversify your career and gain local and international certification in 2 to 6 months at Distinction College. Start online and face-to-face class in medical assistant, medical lab tech, pediatrics and psychiatric nursing, ECG tech, home attendant, hairdressing, makeup, meal tech, call center, supervisory and events planning management, cashiering, media broadcasting and travel tourism. Register this week and get free subjects and free courses. No subjects required, no age limits. Visit us in Kingston, Spanish Town, Ocho Rios, and St. Elizabeth. Call us at 876-356-4167.
But the anchor. Faith Claim Ministries presents Convocation 2025. What shall I do then with Jesus, who is called the Christ? Sunday, July 6, 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Monday and Tuesday, July 7 and 8, 7 p.m. And Love 101 will be on location this coming Tuesday, July 8, with speaker Bishop Steve Hepburn. Faith Claim Ministries, Somerset Road, Greenvale, Mandeville, under the big blue and white tent on the church grounds opposite Ward Avenue off Winston Jones Highway. Come with your praise, participate, and leave empowered.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. Still with me is Kamal Ford, and of course, you know when Kamal is on, we're speaking about track and field. You don't have to doubt it, right? So we're talking about the National Junior and Senior Trials that took place last weekend. We're just talking about, Rashid McDonald missing the 400-meter standard and his race against time to get to the standard. All right, let's move on, Kamal. What for you, I think we just did for the juniors, but what for you was a stand-up performance? All right, let me not ask that because I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask same way because
I think the standard performance for me at the national championship, it's a tie with that 9.75 from Kishane Thompson, the 100 meters, and then Megan Topper's 12.34. Because trust me, like Megan basically came to work. Like she was like, yeah, man, it's 2 solid rounds. She's at her workplace. Nothing can phase her. Kishane was very much as expected, like oblique as well. Should not be discounted. 9.83. Akeem Blake, being there with a 9.88 season's best. But the women's 100 hurdles, Megan Tapper said, here's what, I am in the conversation. Joining the 12-3 club, that club has had a lot of members in quite some time. And I'm glad to see that she's in that position now where she's in the thick of things. And she mentioned earlier this week in an interview, like 12-3 is a new 12-5, and the ladies are going to higher heights. And like, trust me, just this year being a part of that club, spoke to her. Just can't wait to see what she'll do in a couple of weeks' time, leading up to the championship as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Megan Tapper, if anybody knows, Megan is probably one of my favorites because she is, in my opinion, always running against the odds when she lines up at those hurdles. The hurdles are almost taller than her, guys. Like, literally, she's just a little bit taller than these things she's trying to go over. So to be like that, and so a friend and I was discussing earlier this week, Kamal, because we spoke about hurdles being a momentum race, right? And for Megan, she, like, if Akira or Kendra Harrison or Kamatra Quinn, if they hit a hurdle, they have the time to recover sometimes in their races. For her, it's like once it goes, because of her petiteness, once it goes bad, it just goes bad. And trust me, had the ups and downs that she would have had, it would. For me, I'm happy that she gets to run 12-4, and I'm looking to see how fast she can go this season, because of just all the struggles and the issues that she would have been through, personally and otherwise. And of course, we know it, we know 100-meter hurdles women We see those women put on their best races when they get older into the
Yeah,
sport.
we have seen it in over the years. People such as Gail Devers, Bridget Foster Hilton, Kendra Harris in her 30s running well and everything. And I'm just saying, it's like athletes in their 20s, and if you're not having the best of races now, like just keep going because you may never know.
You
After
may
25,
never know.
after 25, things may just change and you're running faster than you've ever done.
Yeah. And for me, yeah, I was, as I said, 12:34, fantastic time. And looking, I mean,
I
I
mean,
couldn't believe my eyes when I looked at the clock. I was like, is it right? Because, and I don't believe.
looking at it years ago, I think had Megan done this probably like 6 years ago this time, this would have been a Jamaican national record. When you think about the club that she's in, people such as Brittany Anderson, Daniel Williams, and Akira Nugent to have gone 12 3 or faster, like it's just amazing.
It's just amazing, but it also shows you the changing with the hurdles, man. Women's 100-meter hurdles, you just don't know. You don't know. You're gonna get a world record in the first round. You just don't know. You don't know. These ladies are just going fast. Anyways, so you said Kishane and Megan were your standout, and I think those were the performance for me as well. One question, last question as it relates before we talk about the Prefontaine Classic today. Do you think, or what do you think was the impact, or did you feel any impact of the four athletes that would have made the switch or are making the switch to Turkey? Did you feel, were they missed at the national
Yeah,
trial?
I think they were missed, especially when you're looking at Jordan Scott in the triple jump, because Jordan had a good competition, but it wasn't as competitive as expected. You understand? Had Jaden Hibbert been there, to full fitness and everything, would have gotten, an excellent. Those men would have been responding, back and forth and everything in the triple jump pit. And as well, with the men's long jump as well. Wayne Pinnock wasn't there. Tajay Gill had a medical exemption and so forth. So Kerry just had it to himself, and we're looking forward to the fantastic competition. But like things just change in a minute.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we kind of missed them because I was definitely looking forward to within the Jamaican colors and Ralford and Stoner going at it. I was looking forward
Yeah.
to that. We'll probably get that on the international scene, but not to get that at home soil. And I must say it's a little disappointing, man. But yeah, all right. Let's switch. Let's switch deal now today. Prefontaine Classic, usually one of the biggest diamond leagues in terms of superstars, but we've seen a few superstars pull out. Kenny
Yes.
Benedict, not
Kenneth
uh,
Bednary, Quincy Hall, and Amber Anning as well pulled out. So
yeah,
quite a few Nike athletes have pulled out from this year. It was still high quality. We have Kishane
but still high
Thompson.
quality. Yeah, but this is I think one of the races I'm definitely looking forward to today, and you can tell me yours. Is the women's 100 meters. I think that race is a very stacked race today, and I want to see how. I want to see, this race
The
will tell me.
responses in the Olympic podium from last season versus the Olympic podium. Again, for the first time this season. So looking forward to see what they will do. And for me, the race of the meet I'm looking forward to is actually the women's 400 meters with Sydney McLaughlin-Leveroni and Jamaica's own Dejane Oakley will be there, of course, with her collegiate teammate Alia Butler. Fantastic race. Eugene is up, as I've seen, Elaine Thompson here around 12, 10.54 on that track. Toby Amusandra on the 100 hurdles roller card on that track. Expecting something fast on those ladies. Sydney is potentially going for that American record, Sandy Richards Ross's record at 49.70. She has a competition to push her. Most ladies in that competition have gone sub 15 year lifetime already, but just looking forward to see what Dejane Oakley will do, with the bigger girls this time. And she made the team 50.08 last week at the Jamaican National Championship.
Mhm.
6 days later, now competing in her most competitive race of her life. Let's see how she really reacts to that. But I'm looking forward to see Sydney and also Dejane Oakley in the mix as well.
All right. Yeah. Anything in the field that you're looking forward to today?
Akila Smith in the long jump. This would be a most competitive event. The Olympic champion Tara Davis would always there. Have Jasmine Moore, the Olympic bronze medalist as well. Akila did well at nationals and everything. I think she leaped 6.8. Would want to see her go a bit further today. Probably even further with 7.7. Like that's national record territory. No, but like
Right.
we may never know. You understand? But I'm looking forward to see what she does. Ralford Mullings just placed second in the with behind Alekna in the discus throw. So that was one competition I was looking forward to. And as overall the meet itself and the fanfare and the excitement, because I think this meet will actually show us what we can expect, in September, because a lot of these athletes will never not meet again until September for the World Championship.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the truth is that I think today Prefontaine Classic, as we said, so it's a good competition. I mean, because after this, some of them will, they'll there, yeah, they'll decide what meets if they'll go on the European circuit, exactly what will happen. So we'll probably not see them until Tokyo running against each other. But I think today's Prefontaine Classic would show us somewhat where some persons are in
Yeah.
their. I mean, to be honest, I'm also looking to the women's 100 meters because I want to see. I know Miss Richardson especially would have said that,
She was
she would
injured.
have she would have been injured at the beginning of the season. I want to see, what is happening with her. She's just an interesting character, you guys know.
Definitely.
The interesting characters are always, well, yeah. It's just
Fun to watch.
they're fun to watch because it's either they're gonna be big winners or big losers. It's just the reality. Other Jamaicans in action today would be Akira and Daniel. They will go off in the 100 meter
100.
hurdles. Um, yeah. So yes, a few Jamaicans in action today. I think it's what 3 o'clock Jamaica time, just about that time. Uh,
Yes.
Local time. We'll see Asani Wilson, Malik James King. They'll go off in the men's 400-meter hurdles. Then we'll have the men's 100 meters where Akeem Blake and
And
Kishane
Kishan
Thompson,
Thompson.
they will go off in that event. And I'm just trying to see if we
The
missed.
women's four with Dejane Oakley.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if we missed any other Jamaicans that will be taking part today. Um, yeah, so looking forward to to this particular Diamond League today.
Yeah.
Um, Brian Lavelle, he goes off in the
In
men's
the
200
200
meters.
meters.
Right. And of course, as I said, the race. The race. I want to see Melissa Jefferson Wood, and she's been running good on the circuit for what we
Quite
saw
some
for the
time.
Grand Slam, and of
Tia,
course, Julian
Clayton as well is in the 100 meters. So
Tia is also in that race. So Tina rather. So we will
Tina's
good to see what her race will be. I don't think it's her first Diamond League race, but I mean, having just won the national
yeah.
championship, I want to see, how she's able to be in this race alone because she's by herself this time in this race. So we'll see how her performance will be. Kamal, thank you so much, as always, for coming through
Anytime.
on this show. We appreciate it. And of course, we'll have whole heap of track and field to talk about. So, our talking of track and field don't end here. But yeah,
Definitely.
thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
All right, and to our listeners, thank you so much for joining me today on Sports Talk. This has been an amazing show, of course. We do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. Catch you next week for another exciting Sports Talk. Kareem, back to you.